What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome
to the Realcast.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
We're back again. It's a new week and time for another audio journey.
Yes, that's correct. You can follow us at the Realcast. They say you can follow myself at Geo_the_Don. Yourself, Carl.
You can find me on Instagram at basic_Kyle. Big news, ladies and gentlemen.
Very big news. I wish we had an air one right now. Coming soon.
But we are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So be sure to follow us and check us out on those platforms. And if you enjoy the show, please leave us a 5-star rating or whichever rating actually.
Whichever rating. Just leave a rating as to what you think, you know. So it's a big thing for us. We wanted to get the content out to you guys in ways that are more accessible, I guess, because not everybody's familiar with Podbean. You can still check us out on Podbean, right, Carl?
Yes, you can still check us out at www.realcastsa.podbean.com.
If that's not your thing and you listen to Spotify, just type in the Realcast on Spotify. Realcast, one word.
Yep.
Yeah.
Realcast, one word. Same thing on Spotify. On Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you enjoy it, just leave us a comment. Even if you did enjoy it, let us know what you think you can improve on, what you disagree with, what you agree with. Like we always say, we enjoy any form of engagement.
That's all good. So
a lot of things happened this week, right? Well, one thing in particular stood out to me, and it was the kidnap and murder of a little girl here in Cape Town. And look, I don't mean to start off the podcast on a sad note, right? But I think it's something that we need to talk about because it makes me, how can I say, rethink the safety of not only women and children, but little boys as well.
And people that you care about as well.
Yeah.
Like bring it closer to home because it can happen to anyone. Like I was talking to someone in the week actually about this, and they told me, so they're expecting a child, right? And they were like, you know what, when you're expecting a baby, right, your paradigm shifts completely. You think like, do I really want to bring my child up in such an unsafe, place? And it's anyone can get it. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to say that in a jokey way. I mean to say that in like a very serious way. Something that we really need to take cognizance of. And, rest in peace to the little girl.
Her name was Tasnay, I think I said.
Yeah.
Tasnay van Wyk. She was only 8 years old, dude. And
yeah.
Look, I hate to get into topics like this, but I think it's something that we need to talk about a bit more, and not only look at, the violence against women and children, and particularly the fact that it's more often than not, let's say more often than not, the crime is perpetrated by a male.
Yeah.
But, and let me just say this, in no way or shape or form am I making excuses for this individual. I won't say his name, we're not going to give him airtime.
Yeah.
He's in no way even deserving of us
Yeah,
even mentioning his
man.
name.
Yeah.
So, but I think we need to take responsibility as a society for what we allow to take place within our communities. Do you understand? Because to me, it's not something that just occurs overnight, like all of a sudden, one day, it's a safe environment for kids, and we don't even think twice about letting our kids play outside and whatever, and then the next day, it's all of a sudden this terrible place where predominantly women and children are being hurt and being taken and being murdered in cold blood. Do you understand? So I think, like, as a society, we need to step up. You understand? Let's not make this a thing about men or women. Let's take the responsibility as a society to make it safer for everyone.
Another story as well, now that we're on this, and I think I may be a culprit of this as well. It's where you think like, man, it won't be me. Do you know what I mean? And before it hits home, like it's yourself or your sister or your mother or whoever that's close to you, then you want to, sit up and take and pay attention.
Yeah.
But by that time, it's too late.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying be a hero or anything, but I'm just saying, like, whatever you can do, to perhaps even if it's just creating awareness, then that's fine. Do you understand? And taking also that precautions for yourself, knowing what we are faced with, currently.
Yeah. And I think, like, with that being said, in terms of, like, responsibility and accountability, I think that like we need to also take individual responsibility. Like, look, I'm not saying everyone out there is responsible for what happens to another person's child, or like you always, like Gio said now, like you always think like it won't be me or it won't be my family, like it's something that you see on the news. But I think that we all should take responsibility when it comes to making the community safer for everyone, in terms of the things that you can control, like what you speak about, or how you speak about the certain things, and how you actually look at the community that you serve in. That was, what is that?
Hey, it's a notification.
Notification squad.
Gang.
Yeah, so like just try and make the environment safer for everyone around you. Because like I said, this isn't just something like the world or the society that we live in didn't just become this crappy place overnight. This is what we allow to take place. And obviously different things trickle down from what we allow in our society. So I think it's up to all of us. This is just my opinion. I'm not preaching to anybody here. But this is just my opinion. Let's try and get back to a place where we treat each other with respect, and we live a life of model and life of morality and principality. What's my?
Nah, just principles.
Principle, yeah. I was gonna say principle, but I always wanted to make sure. Yeah, so a life of morality and principle.
When in doubt, don't do too much.
So yeah, guys, I'm sorry to start off the pod on such a somber note.
But it needs to be said.
It needs to be said, and it's a discussion that we need to sit down and have with men and women alike, because yeah, it's just something that we need to focus on in order to make it better for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So like to end off on this particular sad topic, I'd just like to say our prayers and our thoughts and our hearts go out to every family that has been affected by the sort of crisis that we face at this point in time in South Africa, in our society and local communities. Our heart goes out to each and every family that has been the unfortunate victims of this epidemic.
Normally associated with things like the coronavirus, but I'll give you a pass.
Okay. Yeah, this epidemic of the abduction of children, the murder of children and women, especially.
And not just these two isolated cases, all the other cases as well. So going forward now, what we were thinking, and we were talking about this off air, and I thought, why not let's get a bit more into it, on the pod. And what we were talking about is relationships, right? But like the journey of relationships from maybe like a young age, or whenever you started, 16, 17, nowadays it's 11, 12. It's the truth, bruh. But and I guess the toxicity that it could cause, and also what you could also learn from it, and how it kind of shapes you going forward
as a person.
You know what I mean? And we were thinking about our own experiences as well.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear yours if you have any. Please do let us know. But yeah, there are a few I guess episodes that we've been through, and I thought we could get a bit more into that. So. Yeah, Carl, you want to let me know? Let me know what it was, how did it make you feel?
So why do I have to start? You're the one that brought up the topic.
Yeah, bro, you've got the juicy bits, bro.
I'm not gonna dive straight into the story or whatever. So where this topic actually comes from is it was actually our very first episode that we recorded before we actually got into the podcast. When the podcast
first inaugural.
It was like a test run when we were still like deciding whether or not we wanted to start the podcast, and we did sort of a test run. So this is one of the topics that we spoke about, and I think it circled around toxic effeminacy, right? Effeminacy. That's the actual term for this.
Effeminacy.
Toxic effeminacy. Yes.
Wow, I think somebody wants to throw us the resident wordsmith.
So because all you ever hear on the news, or not news, or media, let's say mainstream media, is this whole thing about toxic masculinity, blah 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 blah.
We actually had an episode about toxic masculinity with Nicole, a guest on the podcast. If you haven't seen it, please do check that out.
You can check it out. It's not on the site at the moment. I did put out an announcement regarding episodes 2, 3, and 6 due to licensing agreements, but it will be out, and when it's out, we'll let you know. So please give it a listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, So yeah, we were speaking about that because,
Can't
like I
forget
said,
the plugs, bro.
we were speaking about it, and like I said, in mainstream media and on social media, you only hear about toxic masculinity and how men mistreat women and blah blah blah. We never really hear about toxic effeminacy.
Shoo.
You know,
I'm not gonna call it that.
the other side of the story, because I mean, it takes two people to make a relationship, right? Okay,
Does.
don't nod your head.
No, it does. My thing is just this: we're not turning a blind eye to the other
Obviously,
side,
of
but
course.
we're giving a bit more, airtime to the side that maybe isn't
Yeah,
discussed.
because
as well.
it is the real cost. I mean, we need to be real with each other.
Exactly.
So, like, basically, let's talk about relationships in general. Just ease me into it, man. 'Cause I think, like, you caught me off guard there. So, let's, like, relationships. Look, it's something that affects everyone's lives, whether you, like, no matter your sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Let's just say it like that.
Yeah.
You know, it affects everybody, and from a young age, I think people would be surprised now, especially like boomers. You know, they'd be surprised to hear that even 10-year-olds are like starting to date and, I have a girlfriend and a boyfriend and da 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 da. You know, and it's not something like they give much attention to, but I think that, let's say, due to the rise of social media and how it's become a big part of our lives, I think that kids are now maturing at a faster rate. Wouldn't you say that?
No, I would definitely say that, and it's because of the accessibility. Do you know what I mean? The accessibility to information, the accessibility to other kids that are posting about their relationships, and a lot of the time there's this, those couples Instagrams and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's almost like the gold standard.
Yeah.
What is that family's name on YouTube? Ace Family?
Yeah, Ace Family.
Like, people aspire to be them, but you don't see. You know that it's
You don't
recorded,
see-
right?
yeah,
You
and
know
you-
that it's edited, and you know that they choose what they put out.
And you don't see like the real, let's say, the real side of what the relationship can be, both good and bad. So yeah, with that being said, like, I think that most of the older generation don't realize how those type of relationships impact their kids, even at a young age.
Yeah.
So when did you have your first girlfriend?
My first girlfriend.
Actual, like, serious relationship.
My first actual serious relationship would be when I was 16. 16, yeah. Yeah, I know you guys are going to say it's late, but I was an older vet like you. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, it was something that really shaped me as well, as to the journey I went on before that. So, what happened was actually, and obviously I won't mention names, but I'll never forget this though. We spoke about it in another episode about social media, right? And it actually started on Mixit, the Tinder before Tinder.
Yeah, and
That's
for
cool.
the guys that are too young to remember what Mixer is, just Google it.
Yeah, just Google it. Yeah, you better. How can I say? You better give thanks to Mixit that
Yeah, I
you
think
have
that was
WhatsApp now.
that they birthed the
Yeah,
social media
they
age
did.
in South Africa.
And then there was a bot there. So on Mixit you had these bots. We speak about it. I'm not gonna get into detail on that, but it was called Judge Me, and
Judge me.
Judge Me.
Isn't it? Oh, okay, judge me.
Judge me, man. Fuck. Judge Me, and what you could do on Judge Me is you could see profile pictures of other Mixed users, whether they were your how can I say, your contacts or not.
Okay.
If you had an option to like, right? If you like the picture, they get a notification that you've liked their picture. Or no, you can like their picture, and if you both like the picture, no, you just get a notification. Yeah.
Get your story straight, man.
Yeah, my bro, it was a long time ago, bro. I'm not gonna give away my age, but
You really gave it on the previous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. One day they info sends a message, and they're like, for 500 moolah, you can now introduce yourself to people who you liked and who liked you back. You understand? So sounds a lot like Tinder to me.
How can I say? Info was one of the bots. Basically.
Yeah, it was one of the bots. If you don't know,
Yeah, Google it. And moolah was like Mixed's currency, basically.
Exactly. It equated to 5 rand. 5 rand was a lot back then.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in school.
Yeah,
You could buy you could buy pie. I don't know if it was that. Nah, you couldn't buy pie. Pie was probably like 8 rand. Anyway, Um,
Okay.
so I buy that 500 moolah, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna introduce myself to this chick now because, and this might sound corny, but I'm like, that's gonna be my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Nah, I said that. And I sent her this heartfelt message, a whole paragraph about me and how I want to get to know her better and all that. And no response.
Okay.
And a
Wait. Did it hurt? Did it hurt?
it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot, but me, I'm not giving up
The
perseverance.
tenacity.
So I wait because you can only send one message, so I'm gonna have to wait. I wait. 2 weeks go by, no response. A month goes by, and now I'm not really that open with it, but I'm still checking. Did she maybe respond? Did she maybe respond? And after a month, she responds. And I get a contact and all that. Yeah, contact was like how you add them. And yeah, from there, we spoke and she told me she has a boyfriend. Then I was like, okay, fine. It's fine. Like, obviously, I was like, my heart sunk there as well. Um, but then one day we decided to meet because she and her boyfriend was having trouble. So now I'm just like, hey.
Wait. Breaks.
Farodo. This is not
Boyfriend.
sponsored.
Boyfriend. So,
She had a boyfriend.
oh, so Mr. Steal Your Girl is in the building. You're fail
Mr. Steal Your Girl was in the building. Let me make that clear. I'm no longer that guy.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
Anywho, they had problems though, and she told me they were on a
So,
break.
wait. So them having problems justifying
She
you.
told me they were on a break.
So a break doesn't mean they, over.
But that's not my responsibility. I'm not dating him. She's dating him. Do you understand?
You just spoke about individual responsibility.
No, but the other thing is this, bruh. What I learned there as well is how you enter the relationship is how you exit the relationship.
Okay, just
bruh.
quick.
That
quickly,
is
just
100%
quickly.
true.
I remember we were having a debate now the other day. I don't know if we actually put it in the podcast about Sona. You were telling me about politicians. Let me pose a question that you posed to me. What would a reasonable person do?
What would a reasonable person do?
The right thing.
Yeah, but the right thing is subjective.
Oh,
The
okay.
right, it was right to me because they were on a break.
Okay, so we now bend the rules.
No, it's not bending the rules, bruh. It's just adding that human element to things.
Shut the fuck
Which,
up.
as much as you love stats,
Just,
we have to add that in.
just keep quiet. Carry on.
You see, that's what people say when they have nothing more to argue. So, so we meet up and, I guess I kind of wowed her. And the rest, as they say, is history. So the reason I bring this up is, and maybe I can get into how that was toxic to me and how I also became maybe toxic in the process is, so we were vibing, I guess that's the word today.
Yeah.
Like previously it would be she was my stucky.
Oh.
That's what we said. Did we not say that?
I never said that, bro.
Don't talk cock. We're in the same. Anyway, Carl's trying to keep him holier than thou. I'll keep it real since it's the Realcast. So yeah, it was 2 years.
Yo, don't drop the pipe, baby. Stupid, yeah, God.
After 2 years, so we dated like after 6 months, then we officially dated.
Okay.
Right? And she lived very far away from me, man. So it was almost like a long distance because I wasn't driving. Long story short.
I hope you weren't driving because you were 16. So.
Yeah, I know. Like I mean, I couldn't drive, obviously. But yeah, so we saw each other like every third weekend or something like that, man. Like when my father and her father decided to drop us at a certain place, blah blah blah. She came to my house and everything, and I was like head over heels for this chick. Like she was a model, and I was going on with everyone in school. Yeah, so like nowadays. Every second girl is a model.
Yeah.
Whether it's anyway. But yeah, like I was chuffed basically. And what had happened was like a lot of the time when we chatted, she would have told me that she was with this guy and that guy, and they were all Honda boys, man. You understand? I don't know if you know what a Honda boy is. Yeah, you know that brother that was the cuff pants with the Avianas. That bruh. Go over the speed bump leaning back.
Yeah.
So they were notorious for, They call themselves G-string droppers.
Okay.
Anyway, so you can understand that homeboy not seeing his chick and now she's out with, these type of dudes. I was feeling a bit pressed. I won't lie. I was like, why are you seeing them? Like, what are you doing when I'm not there? Yeah, it's an insecurity, but I mean, I was a kid and I was madly in love with her. So yeah, or I thought I was. Who knows? Okay,
Okay.
so let me forward this along, right? It turns out at, at the end, right? It was our year and a half anniversary. I don't know, or 6 months. I don't know, right? But it was like some anniversary, and it was a week before her birthday as well. So I was gonna see her that weekend. So I saw her, and the week before, another chick that I had history with sent me some stuff, right, on WhatsApp, and this was just when WhatsApp came out. So WhatsApp saves pictures automatically. I know this now. I did not know this previously. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So these pictures are automatically saved. I look at it because I'm a dude. It was like pictures that I shouldn't be looking at. Do you understand? Because I have a girlfriend. Okay. And yeah, I look at it.
Stupid, man. Yeah.
I look at it and I think nothing about it. I just tell her, look here, you need to stop this. Like, you didn't want me when I was single. Now you want me. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Do you understand?
Okay.
And yeah, we go to the cinema and we had this thing because we were in a long distance. I don't know if you had this thing. Like, come and check your phone.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, bro, come and check your phone, bro.
Okay,
And
but I shouldn't be one to talk.
yeah, bro, we're getting to you, bro. So now it's like, come and check your phone. And I'm like, yeah, yes, my phone. Come and check yours. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm confident, you know. And she's scrolling. This is while the ads are playing in the cinema. And she scrolls. She comes across this picture.
The picture now.
The incriminating picture.
Uh-huh.
She's like, who's this? And now I'm like, oh, fuck. And my issue was that I lied. Right, so I was like, nah, it's pictures from the internet, man. It's pictures from the internet. She's like, I can see this is in someone's house. Like, why are you telling me?
Oh, you stupid young. Yes.
And she starts crying. And I'm like, oh my word. And she cries through the whole movie. She doesn't get up and leave. She just stays there because she must go home with me because I'm Topi must still come pick her up. You understand? So she knows, bruh, she still needs a lift. But anyway.
I'm just trying to think about the conversation on the way home, man.
Nah, I'm getting there.
Okay,
I'm getting there, bro. I'm getting there. And it's quite a long, drawn-out story, but, like, it will make sense at the end why I went through all of this.
So,
okay?
guys, if you fall asleep, don't.
You won't fall asleep.
You won't be
listening.
offended. Don't feel bad.
You won't
I
fall-
actually put the timestamps of the interesting parts in the description.
You won't fall asleep listening to this audible chocolate.
Oh, shut up, bro. Carry on.
Anyway, so yeah. So she was crying, blah, blah, blah. And I was like trying to console her. And she's like, don't touch me, blah, blah,
Obviously,
blah.
don't touch me. Yes.
And I'm just like, baby, no. And she's like, nah. Anyway, we leave. Now she's cold.
Okay.
Now, you know that
Obviously,
moment
okay.
where it's just like, nah.
That's to be
She's
expected.
like, okay, let's just go. And I go to Edgar's and I buy her like a blouse and like shoes and stuff. And
bowling.
Bro, I was a cashier. So I was using my money there, bro, because I was just like, yo, I need to make it up to her, buy a gift. Maybe that can open up the lines for talking, you know, and explaining, you know.
Okay.
And it does. We go eat afterwards. I buy, you know.
So she did at no point during this, let's say, date, did it occur to her to like phone her parents or something?
Mm-mm.
So, okay. Right now, at this point in time, I'm on her side.
You on her side?
Yeah, because you're an asshole. For
Yeah. No.
Yeah, maybe.
No, you should be on her
things
side.
change.
You should be on her side. So yeah, I buy her the stuff. Or you still on her side? Okay.
No, just carry on.
Okay,
Are you winning nobody over?
She
here?
takes the stuff and she and we eat and I'm like, look, like that was a mistake on my part. Like I told her not to send the stuff and I didn't delete it. Look, I shouldn't have looked at it in the first place. And she's like, but you lied.
Oh, say.
And I was like, yeah, but like, I did that because I didn't want to hurt you. And then she's like, but you hurt me by lying.
Oh, say.
So I was like, okay,
Shit, mate.
cool.
No.
Then afterwards, we just ate and we started talking about other stuff, man, like us. And she was normal. And I was like, oh, yes, man, it worked. Do you know what I mean?
And you thought like, nah, I dodged the bullet.
And then at the end, when my dad was there to pick us up, she was like, I'm like, did you have a good day? Like, despite all of this, we can come back from this, right? And she's like, nah, I had a good time, but when we get home, we must talk.
Oh, say.
Ooh, you know that lines, bro.
Oh, say.
So we get home and she's like, look, you've betrayed my trust. We can't continue like this. I can't be in a relationship without trust, which is very mature for the age. You know what I mean? Like, I would give her that. Like, I promise you, I'll give her that. And she takes the clothes that I bought her and she leaves.
Of course she takes it, bro. Of course. Are you dumb? If I was I'd take it also.
She's like, yeah. And then I'm like, but what about that kiss? Because we kissed afterwards.
Okay.
And she's like, that was one for the road. Woo, bruh. Yes, sis, and I cried that night, man. Honestly, I cried my eyes out.
Hope you learn your lesson.
And I tried to get the back. Mix it. I'm trying to get the back. I'm like, babe, we can make it work. Look, I will even do this. I'll show you my phone every time we come there. Like, I'm gonna be good. All that. But I do this for 2 months, 2 whole months. And every night I'm unsuccessful, I cry myself to sleep. Follow no poor, brother. I'm telling you, brother. So, anyway, after 2 months, I'm at Houdini. I remember. You know Houdini, right? Houdini was the spot, brother. Try to afkopen, Houdini. But yeah, anyway, I was just on her, man, the whole time. And she's like, okay, fine.
Okay, so you were chatting to her?
Yeah, I was chatting to her, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this was 2 months later. Chatted to her, and she's like, okay, fine, let's give it a chance.
Okay.
And I go in love, man. Now it's like, I'm back with my baby. Oh, yeah. Anywho, that happens, and we chat for 2 weeks, but we chat like old times.
Yeah.
And then I tell her, look, can I see you this weekend? And then she's like, actually, it wasn't me chatting, it was my cousin chatting. We're not back together. All of that was a lie. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Safe.
And I'm like, oh my word. Now I'm angry. Now I'm quiet, but now I'm not even, because I'm like, you built me up to, yes, I was wrong at first, but like, now you're just taking me for a hella joke, right?
A false sense of hope.
And I actually cry about this. You know what I mean? So now you're just taking me for a joke. Anywho, so what happened is, so we had this pact, right? And the pact was, no matter what we are, she's going to be my matric ball partner. Now remember, I'm 16. Matric is when I'm 18.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
So this went on for like a year and 6 months. So I was like in grade 11. So this was like to the end of grade 11, I guess. So I was 17 at the time, and I needed a matric ball partner for going forward, right? I still had her on the socials. So yeah, it was WhatsApp now because we transitioned, you understand? But we weren't like together at all. So matric ball comes up, and I have another offer for a partner, you know, and it's actually a very good friend of mine at the time. And I think she would look good on the matric ball photos as well. However, I'm like, okay, I'm going to honor my pact. Let me see if she's going to honor her pact. And she agrees, and okay, fine. But now...
So was this like your mentality going into this? Were you like, can I win her back? Or was it like, okay, we're just going to do this, get it over and done with?
Yeah, so it was actually, it was neither of those. Okay. It was vengeance, but it was revenge. It's like, I'm going to show her now. Because she broke me. And it took me about like 6 months to get over that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, I know I was wrong first, but like...
Two wrongs don't make it right.
I always say, I'm far better served as your friend than as your enemy.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
Bruh, read The Prince, my bro.
Nah, shut up.
Read The Prince.
You're not the Prince.
Niccolo Machiavelli. Read The
up,
Prince, bro.
Shut up, go on.
Yo, haters, man.
What hating, bro? You stupid. You fucking cringe, bro.
But you a hater. Let's see what the reviews say. So I have vengeance on my mind, right? And this girl that was going to be my partner, I tell her, look here, I'm gonna be with you all night anyway, you know. Um, so she's just gonna be my partner, the ex now. She's just
Okay.
gonna be my partner, and that's strictly for aesthetic purposes, like, and because I had this pact thing, you know. Um,
Guys, that's my dog again joining us on the podcast.
yep. What up, George? Destroyer of worlds. Fuck, why did I greet him now?
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
relax.
Yo,
Anyway,
yo,
yeah.
chill out, fam. Okay, so the matric ball's there, and she already doesn't like this girl that should have been my partner, the
Okay.
ex, right? They have a deep dislike for each other.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I get there. So now we're sitting. It's me, the ex, and then I call the other girl over, and I
Okay.
tell the ex to move up, and then she sits next to me, and I talk to her all the time. And
So,
then,
so you told her to move up and let this other.
yeah, I
friend of
sit
yours-
where she was sitting next to me
Why would you do that?
for revenge.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I'm not saying that was right. I'm transitioning into how it built me into the
Okay.
future. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so now I'm talking to the girl now the whole time, not the ex, the girl. And I'm talking to her, and then I just stop and I ask the ex like, "Is the food okay?" And then she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, fine." And then I just, it's not
Yo,
nice, bro.
that's
Yo,
submissive.
I feel like that was really trash from me, you know. But anywho, the party's done.
Okay.
She's been sitting alone. She knows no one because it's my school. So she's outside of the school, you understand?
Okay.
And I'm just chilling, having a good time. And afterwards, we had a friend of ours that got us like VIP at Cubana, which was big back then.
Yeah.
You understand? So I tell the ex now, look here, we're going to Cubana or whatever. I told her before as well, we've got like reservations there. And she comes with her clothes because remember she's a matric dress, so I get changed whatever, she gets changed. I don't tell her anything, she just gets changed. I got my friend to pick me up, he had a BM, so now I just think I'm the lion, man, you understand. Homeboy comes and he picks me up, he's coming with, you know, and he's older, obviously much older, so now I'm just like, yeah, I'm that guy.
That guy,
So it's
okay.
in the car, it's the driver, it's a passenger, another one of my guy friends, and then it's myself and my ex at the back.
Okay.
So as we drive, I tell the driver, look here, we're still gonna go pick up that other girl now. The same one that was with me at the matric ball. So now she looks at me, the ex, and she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna pick her up. Do you have a problem with that? And she's just like, no, I just didn't know she was coming. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Anywho, so now we sit the same when she gets in the car and she's looking fire, bro. So now I'm like, okay, cool. So it's the ex, then the other girl, then me.
So she's
And-
in the girl's in the middle of you. And
Yeah, yeah, in the middle of me and my ex. So now we're driving on the N1 and I'm like, oh, just remember we're going to drop my ex at home now. She's not coming with. And she just sits there and she looks out of the window, bruh.
You're
And
like,
she's
yo,
like shattered, bruh.
draconian.
And then the other girl is like all over me while she's in the car, bruh. And you're thinking of this, I'm cringing. Yo, what the fuck, bruh? Anywho, we get to her house, the ex. She leaves. And I see her eyes are glassy, man. So now I'm like, bruh, but you took me for a joke as well, though. But then she's like, I'm like, bye. She's like, I can't believe you did this to me. And she leaves, no?
Yo, that's
And I
nice.
feel shite, bruh. Until I look next to me and I see the other girl, and I'm fine. But it was bad. So after that, so I'm not in any way saying that was quiet, that was gevaarlijk, that was wrong. You know, I was a kid though, but that was still wrong. Like, and
So
if
at
she-
least you acknowledge.
if she ever hears this, the ex, I'm sorry for that. But I also, and we're not getting into this, but I also saw her afterwards and I apologized for that and we went our separate ways. Yeah. So yeah, that is my experience. And then for the 2 years after that, when I went to uni and stuff, I was like just this. My nickname was Geonova. That's Giovanni and Casanova. Oh, I just gave my name. That's Gio and Casanova.
Just cringe
Mixed.
everywhere you go.
And yeah, I didn't. I mean, I didn't particularly like that name, but I had that name for a reason. So yeah, I just went on like a whole phase. I guess that's what you would call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no feelings. You know, Mr. Studio Girl, all that shit, bruh. And it just clocked in my mind after that 2 years that no, you're doing this because you were hurt by the other one, and now you putting up walls as to, you know, making like a real connection and being vulnerable to someone else. Do you understand?
So what made you like come to that realization? Did something happen, or was it like a penny that dropped at that point in time?
No, it was like a penny that dropped because I got bored of that lifestyle. I was like, I don't have anything real. All of this is not real. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once I go home, once she goes home, and then what do I have? Nothing. Do you understand? And I thought back to the feeling that I had when I was with this ex, and that was a good feeling to know that there was someone there. Do you understand what I'm saying? That you care about more than just, you know, a quick kiss or whatever you want to call it, right? So yeah, I guess that's how it shaped me into the future. And now, yes, I'm not with anyone currently. However, I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, whether it's going to end badly or not. It's just like you need to put yourself out there completely, otherwise you might miss something by holding on. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that, bro?
Nothing.
Nah.
Look, I get it from both sides. Like, you fucked up at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You fucked up. So she made the right decision.
Yeah, she did.
But obviously, it doesn't give her the right to obviously take you for a joke and whatever. So look, there's a bit of wrong and right on both sides in terms of behavior. But like, yeah, I think after hearing that long ass story, you know, like
I'm a storyteller, guys.
you sort of like realize that when like the things that kids are doing, man, at that age,
Yeah.
it's almost like they're in a what do you say, soap opera.
A soap opera, a soapy.
A soapy.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
the Young and the Restless.
Days of our lives.
Tabitha, man.
Wasn't she on Passions, but
Yeah, she was on Passions.
Oh,
Yeah.
Passions
Wasn't she a witch?
Oh, Passions was fucked up, man. That like you somehow turned into a doll or something.
These are our lives was fucked up.
Yeah, bro.
Marlena, man.
Everyone
Resurrection.
Stefano,
Dragon Ball Resurrection F.
I remember there was like clones and crack and aliens and shit, bro.
Oh, man, my favorite was Stefano and EJ. Bro.
Nah, shut
That's
up,
a real
bro.
nigga.
It's very big. Anyway, so like I think like the effect that these type of relationships have on kids or teenagers or preteens or whatever you want to call it, that effect shouldn't be underestimated, right? And I think that something that I like, one of the ideas that popped into my head while they were telling the story is like openness. Like as parents, we need to be there for our children. Look, I don't expect my child one day to tell me everything that goes on. Like, look, I got the third base tonight or whatever.
Oh, I don't want to know that. Wow.
No, I don't want to know any of that, bruh. But like, you know, and for those of you guys that are thinking, oh my word, that's so gross, they just sort of, bruh. Teenagers do stuff like this, bruh. Like, we've all been teenagers, you know.
Is that how they sound? Oh my god, they so
like, you know what you done, we know what we done, and you know, we're not going to get into specifics, but it happens.
It
you know what I
happens.
mean? You might think, like, no, my daughter or son will never do that, he's such an angel.
Yeah, you don't know, man. Bro, you're not face.
Yeah, exactly. Just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just keep quiet. So, yeah, like I said, you shouldn't underestimate the how can I say, the
significance.
Yes, the significance, resident words.
Of course.
The significance of the impact that it does have on young minds and how it shapes young minds. And when we see that these young people are going through something, well, at least in my household, and I can say the same for households that I've experienced as well, like with friends and family, like colored people, it's usually brushed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ah, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a child. But you don't know how that impacts that child's mentality going forward and how it shapes their character.
Yes.
Do you understand? So I think...
Like, I was fortunate to come to that realization, but there's someone that
will never come to that realization. And we're not saying, believe all
that's
children
how
and
started.
we need
What?
to treat... What?
What?
Okay. And I'm not saying, like, you should take everything your child says seriously, and I'm not also saying that you need to take everything your child says with a grain of salt. But there's that balance that needs to be found, whereby a child is still a child, whether they're preteens, teenagers, whatever the case, but you're also giving that same amount of respect, man.
And try and remember how you were when you were back then, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with that being said, guys, we've come to the end of another
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. He thought he was going to cough a plea like that. There's no way. Look, tell me. So that was in one way that I was affected, right?
Yeah.
And how I maybe transitioned from that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know, have you ever been, and
Shut
I know.
up, bro. You know the story, bro. Like, most of my high school friends know the story.
But the thing is, that was a different type of toxicity.
Yeah.
So
okay, so I think
maybe
mine...
you can give us just a brief.
I think like mine is more to the definition of toxic effeminacy, like you mentioned at the beginning of the show.
Mine was toxic masculinity.
It's not funny, bro. Shut up.
Bruh, it's a joke, bruh.
Yeah, be careful, bro.
What you mean be
Can't just
careful,
make jokes in
bruh?
today's
Look
day,
here,
bro.
if you are easily offended, go to Ryan Stories Review. Honestly. We didn't make mention.
As you toned it down.
Yeah, I toned it down a bit, yeah.
So look, like, back to the topic. Look, mine is more of, toxic effeminacy, like, that sort of... Okay, let's just take it from the beginning. Look, I met this girl. You could say she was my high school sweetheart. She was like the own... Why are you laughing, bro? What the fuck?
Go on, bro.
Yeah, bro, you
Continue,
bitch,
bro.
I didn't laugh at you, bro. You see, this is why I don't Look, I'm putting myself out there.
Bro, I did so too, though.
Nah, but I didn't laugh at you, bro.
Okay.
Even though I knew.
I have
exactly what
images in my head of a tree. A certain tree, bro.
Okay. No, it's fine. I'll give it to you. You
yeah.
know? I'm giving it to you real straight up. It is the real cause. So whatever.
Of course, bro.
You see, hurt people.
Hurt
You see.
people, that's the truth.
Okay, so anyway, I met this girl. I think we were like grade 8. She was in my class. And I was like, oh, she's beautiful, whatever. And look, I don't even remember how I like chased her, how we became, like we were friends and then it just turned into, relationship. And I think it continued seriously from, continued seriously from like grade 9. Like that's when we got like serious and we were in a relationship. And everything was good. We went through we were together for like 5 years. So like it's safe to say like we were quite serious and I rightly felt that I was in love with this girl. But you see, the mistake that I made was like I was willing to change my character, change the way I looked, change the way I dressed, change the friends I hung out with, when I went out with, who I went out. And
boy, did he change his character.
whose story is this, bro?
Oh, yeah.
So, and it wasn't out of my own. Like, it got to the point where I worshipped the ground that she walked on. Yeah.
Oh, you nuts. That's some whole ass shit, bro.
Shut up, bro. It's the truth. I'm gonna give it to you straight, man.
Yeah.
So, I put her on a pedestal and she was my dream girl and I would do anything to make her happy, and so I did all of those things. But it got to the point where nothing I did was good enough, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to give you the ins and outs of how it came to be or whatever. I'm just giving you the gist of the story. And I eventually it sent me into a state of, let's say, low self-esteem, low self-confidence. Don't laugh, bruh.
Nobody's laughing,
I
bruh.
wish I could see you smiling.
Nobody's laughing,
This man
bruh.
is having the time of his life, bro. It sent me into a depression state, a state of depression, basically. And I would do anything to please her, but nothing would ever be good enough, basically. So, look, this carried on for what the fuck, bro? I'm trying to tell a story here.
I'm trying my best not to laugh, bro.
Bruh, why are you laughing, bro? This is the real shit, bro.
That is real shit.
This is shit that
I was there, bro. I can say.
As the modern, or these social justice warriors would say,
My word.
this is my lived experience.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Ew, So
This one is a good.
he was there, he witnessed the change,
Yeah.
and it was something that isolated me from everyone else, including my family actually, because all that mattered to me was pleasing her. This was the girl that I was gonna marry, and this is the girl that I was gonna give the rest of my life and spend the rest of my life with, and that clouded my judgment in every single aspect of my life. And it wasn't good. Look, I'm not saying I never did anything wrong. There were some certain things that I, could have improved. And look, I was 16, 17,
it was
18,
16
19.
to
16 to
19.
19,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So we went through that relationship. That was like, it started after the second year. Like then that's when that started to
Oh,
happen.
okay.
And then that was like maybe to the fourth year. And then she was actually also my matric pool partner.
Yeah, but
And
same
we went
school.
to same school. So we went to the matric ball. We had an amazing night and whatever. This was now despite all of the other shit that I say.
Yeah.
We had an amazing night and that was it in terms of matric ball experience. So fast forward a year later, I'm out of school now, and I was struggling to find a job. All of my friends and things, I saw them going to university, to college, studying further. Unfortunately, due to financial constraints, your boy had to attend the University of Life.
Shut the fuck up. Due to financial constraints, my ass, bro.
So yeah, look, I wasn't sure. Okay, I have to
Yeah.
take some of the blame. I wasn't sure what I wanted to study, what I wanted to be.
Don't blame your circumstances.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Look, I knew what I wanted to be. It's just that it was too expensive, and I obviously decided to go into the working world. But yeah, so let's just rewind it a bit.
Yeah.
I was a bit down in the dumps at the time. Look, I couldn't find a job. All my
Were you
friends,
still with her?
yes, I was still
Okay.
with her. All my friends couldn't. All my friends were studying, and they were getting their life in order and starting their journey as adults. Me, I was sitting at home, trying to find a job. Like it was. I was in a state of mind of like, okay, what next? And I think the only constant, basically in my life, or the only thing that hadn't changed at that time, was she was still there, and I built almost like a dependency. Let's say emotional dependency of this relationship and of this person, this girl. And I was so used to us chatting every day and seeing each other every day and seeing each other every weekend and whatever.
So you saw each other every day. Was she still in school?
Yeah, she wasn't still in school. No, like I'm saying, like I was so used to us being at school, seeing each other every day and whatever. And obviously, this is now changed for me.
Okay, I
to
get
do
you.
that.
I get you.
And also, she was in school. She couldn't chat all the time. And I became, that needy hoe,
Yeah,
bitch ass
yeah,
nigga.
yeah.
Like, what you doing? Who you talking to? Why you not replying? And this is all because of my own insecurity. Cause, why the fuck do you keep laughing, bruh?
That needy bitch ass nigga, bruh.
I'm being serious, bruh. I was like, yo,
Oh,
give me a
yeah.
fuck, bruh.
Don't mind me, man, bro. Just
Like-
let me love. Let me love, man.
Yo, at my expense, bruh. So,
We're
like,
all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel, bruh.
so like I became this needy person and like I wanted to see her every day, and obviously school gets in the way, and to me it would be like, oh shit, do you still love me? Do you still feel the same? Because you don't see me every day and I don't know who you're talking to, I don't know who you were. But at the same time I was trying to like not be that guy, like let me see your phone and whatever. And that's sort of like that's where the distance between us started to develop.
Okay.
Like, that's where I became like I don't want to like say alpha male, beta male. That's where I like was
The bitch.
the. Okay, put it bluntly, I was
Well,
the bitch.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And not that men
Just
should-
for understanding,
yeah,
man. Just for understanding
and
purposes.
not that women should be the bitches in the relationship. We should respect one another.
I mean, even me, I want to be a stay-at-home dad. All you rich girls, my bro.
Holla
Holla at your boy.
So like I became like the beta. She basically wore the pants, and she was like the one saying when we can see each other, when we can't. And to me, it was almost like I was not enough.
And was it just when you could see each other, or was it like where you could go as well?
Yeah.
Like
Same.
would you ever like be invited somewhere and say, nah, you're busy, but you're actually not busy?
Yeah.
Like, you know
yeah,
what I
that
mean?
was also part of it, but I'll get to that. So I'm just like trying to get to the gist of the story and then.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I get you.
So like yeah, that would be it, and I would like do everything to please her, and like when can I see you? Let me know I'm there and I'm ready. I would come with flowers, da 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 da.
With flowers.
Yes, bruh. Like I was.
With flowers.
Yes, bruh. I was like,
Yeah.
this was the goal that I told myself that look, I'm gonna make you my wife, I'm gonna marry you, and I believed it with my whole heart. And she would basically like down me, man. Like, look, you're not working, you're doing nothing, you're sitting at home. What kind of
I didn't know that part.
yeah, like what kind of girl wants to be with you? And look how you look. Don't you shave? Da 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 da. And
Wow.
all of that was like I was getting that on a daily basis. And there was one time she told me like, look, I just don't feel the attraction that I used to feel.
Really?
Yeah, bruh.
While you were together?
Yeah, and then I'm like, so you're trying to break
What
up
the
with me?
fudge?
And then she's like, no, I'm not breaking up. I'm just telling you, you need to do better. I was like, oh shit. Okay, so eventually, I got a job and I started working and, I started doing better. In quotation marks, like according to her, doing better. Did I advise you to put your fucking phone off?
It's my watch, bruh. My watch can't be put off.
Yo, weird flex, but okay.
It's really my watch, bruh.
Fuck it. Anyway, so did I have my watch buzzing while you were
Guys,
telling your story?
Just a brief interlude. I'm taking off my watch. Is that fine?
Anyway.
I thought you said you were the OS bitch.
Yo! So anyway, so I get a job and whatever, and life starts to pick up for me, and things are going better than they were. But still, like, I was always, self-conscious when I walk into like a new environment. I would always think like, do I look okay? Am I enough? Can people see my insecurities?
Yeah.
And it got to that sort of point, man. And eventually, long story short, she breaks up with me. And this sends me obviously into a downward spiral. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to marry this girl. And I like basically done
I
what
didn't
we
know she broke up with you.
did. Yeah, bruh. Hectic.
Yo, hectic.
Yeah, bruh. And all my friends were telling me, yo, I'm so glad that you guys are done. You included, obviously.
Me definitely included.
Like, you were so
Fucking
glad
hell.
that you were done, you guys are done and whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm like just on a downer, but I'm like thinking, yo, what am I going to do now? How is someone going to, what must I do to make myself, marketable?
For her.
Yeah, and make myself attractive. And I used to go to gym and I'd cut my hair the way she wants me to wear it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, fast forward to the end of that year. It's her matric pool. Right? And I get a message. This is now after months of not speaking. Get a message. She's like, hey, look, I'm thinking about you, and we always spoke about it in school, and I want you to be my matric pool partner.
Shoot. It's a big deal when you're in matric.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She probably diving on my IG, your boy's back, and I was like, okay, fine, alright, cool. And then I don't know if I remember this correctly. This was a while ago, right? I was 19, and I found out that she actually had another matric pool partner. How is it?
Did that man bail on her and now she's asking
so.
you?
I don't know. That's the conclusion that I came to. Look, I'm not putting this part of the story out as fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm like, yo, must go get my, get the suit
Get
and
the
whatever.
suit, be
The shopping.
uitgejaagd.
But I spent 700 rand on a shirt, my bro.
On a
white
shirt?
On a white shirt. I want to look crispy clean.
When you were 19.
Yeah, but I was working at the time.
Oh yeah. This man was. Oh yeah, sorry man.
Oh, yeah.
Not all of us can be like Mike.
Yo, shut up, bro. So I go get the shirt. It is what it is. And I'm like thinking.
You still have that shirt?
Yeah, it doesn't fit anymore though.
I was gonna say give it to me,
No,
but if it
actually,
don't fit you, then
Yeah, I gave it away actually. I gave it to a friend of mine. Anyway. So yeah, I get my shirt, homie's looking crispy clean.
Yeah.
We go out. She wanted to pick out the suit that I wore. Because it's her matric pool.
Okay, I get it. That's
Right,
not.
and I go and I pick out something. I'm like, oh, I like this, the way it fits. And she's like, no, you're going nowhere with me looking like that. That's basically, not verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing. I'm like, oh shit, okay, what do you want me to do? And I get it tailored, get it fitted to her, like in fast forward to the day of the matric pool. I even got new glasses, bro, like new spectacles. I wear spectacles, so I got new spectacles. And I come here
Oh,
with my new
isn't that expensive as
yes,
fuck,
bro.
bro?
But I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to do the things, yeah. And I show up there, and she's like, I hope you're not gonna wear that spectacles or with that glasses.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, luckily I brought my spare pair with. Yes. And I was like, okay, wear the normal ones. Cut my hair, shave and whatever. And then, I'm thinking, this is my chance to win you back, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
Right. So we go to the matric pool, right? We have, we go to the matric dance. The same thing like mine was.
Yeah.
We sit, we eat, dance. And she left me at the table. And went to go like dance with her friends and whatever. And I'm just sitting there like the world.
Yeah.
Purse.
Like the ex I mentioned in my situation.
Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there playing games on my phone, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. let's go dance. And I'm like, I tell her, do you want to dance? She's like, I don't really dance, but yeah, sure, we can. Looking at dance, and I'm trying to have a good time, and she just looks at me like, what the fuck, you know, like, yo, okay. And fine.
Oh.
Eventually, the night comes to an end, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine, I get it, you know. I'm not gonna.
So
She's
no
like,
after party.
Nah, I didn't go to the after party.
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what, I get it now.
Yeah.
And I tell her, look, but you know, there was something in me that was like, nah, man, just keep trying, you know, keep pushing. Tenacity.
Tenacious D.
Maybe.
In the peak of destiny.
So I tell her, like, look, I had a really nice time. I'm talking cock, obviously. I'm so glad I saw you, and I hope it's not the last time we see each other.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Right. And she's like, no, don't worry, I had a nice time too. Obviously, she was talking cock.
Yeah.
I'll message you.
Famous
Right?
last words.
Yeah. You see, me being the hoe ass, bitch ass that I was, I'm sitting there waiting for that message, bruh. Every time your boy is, you know, on his
We
phone.
all know, bro.
Checking. And a month goes by, nothing.
Nothing.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Right. Carry on to my 20th birthday, right? And she, like, within that period,
went on cock
yes,
long,
bruh.
bro.
Within that period, she starts talking to me again, blah, 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 and her birthday comes up. And I'm like, you know what? There's just something in me, bruh, and I don't want to give up. I'm like, let me take you out. Because I have money most now. Man.
Oh,
I'm like, right, I'll take you to see a movie, but everything's just cock awkward, bruh. It's like, I didn't know, like, what to do, how to look, how to stand, you know? I was just like,
You were just like trying to be the best picture for her.
away, and I was like stepping on eggshells, basically walking on eggshells, man, and trying to not say the wrong thing. And I go and I take her out for supper, we go eat, we go to a movie, and I'm like, okay, what do you want to do now? You know, we can still do. And she's like, no, I just want to go home. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I'm like looking at her, and I'm feeling like the biggest purse, man, bro.
Because you were the biggest purse, bro.
And I'm like,
But like, I understand where
yeah.
you're coming from, though.
and I'm like, what can I do, man? Like, let me know. She's like, no, I just want to go home. I'm like, okay, fine. I told my look, because I obviously wasn't driving at the time.
Yeah, you weren't driving at the time.
Not obviously, I should have been driving by that time.
You should have, yeah.
Oh, hey. So,
But neither was I, so I can't say anything.
I told my he's like, look, I'll come fetch you. And he's like, yo, why are you coming home so soon? I'm like, I don't know, she just wants to. And he just rolls his eyes, like, because he was so
Yeah, he's ways of her, yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
We all ways of her, by the way, bro. Yes.
So, like, yeah.
Shout out if you're listening.
What are you doing? That was a good one. So, yeah, like obviously, he gets it and we go drop her. And now we drop her and I look into the house and we're having a party. So I'm like, oh, you just want to get to the party. And then she just
Why can't
gets
you
out.
go with to the party?
But I don't know, right? And I came to that realization, like, you know what? If you don't want me, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. You know what? I'm not going to treat myself like this anymore.
It's like a paradigm shift.
And we break up like for good.
So was that also like a penny drop situation?
Yeah, like for good. So this is like year around May in the year, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick myself up. And there's a lot of ugly details that I'm leaving out. But I'm not in the business of putting people on blast, man. But it's like, but I got
No, I know the ugly details.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part.
But yeah, so like fast forward to later in the year, you know, I'm doing good, you know, I'm picking myself up. You know, I'm in a good space in my life now. Get a message.
Ooh.
Like, she's like, okay, she's done with school most now. You see. So now she's also experiencing that dip, you know? All your brothers going to university and finding a job and you can't by my sitting at home acting a fool.
Yeah, I get you.
Message me, she's like, I have no one to talk to, all my friends are going to university, and I'm like, yeah, look, I could have been an asshole, and I'm like, okay, now what do you want from me? But you know, being the nice, compassionate guy that I am, I was like, okay.
Was it because you were the nice, compassionate guy, or was there still something there?
Of course there was still something there, but it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
And I speak to her, and I'm like, you know what, you'll get through it. I was there. Look, that's why I was so clingy and da. She's like, yeah, whatever. And we start talking as friends. And I'm like, look, I'll be your friend and we can talk about it.
Never ends well.
Right? And yeah, things go on, and then like a month later after talking, she's like, "Can I see you, please? We should hang out." And
Did you say please?
yeah, I don't know, but the way I interpret
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I'm not gonna put out any, like something that's not true. I'm trying to stick to the
Nah,
truth
I
as far
get
as
you,
possible.
bro.
So
Bruh, this is just content. That's all, bro.
she hits me up. And she's like, "Look, can I see you? Can we hang out and play games like we?" Because she was also into games, and I'm a big gamer and whatever.
I know she was into games.
Oh yeah, but that was one of the things that we had in common, and we used to like play games all the time together.
Hulle van die COD.
Maybe.
My bro.
Hoe kan kort, Brian?
Hulle van die Tom Clancy.
So yeah, and I'm like, okay, fine. And that was around the time I got bonus, man, at work. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna look fresh as I miss, right? So I clean up, shave, get the whole thing, buy me a new pair of boots, denim jacket and that.
Steel toes.
Maybe. So your boy was looking fresh, right? So I get there and I'm like, okay, we're gonna play a game, should I order pizza? And she's like, yeah, I'll ask my mom. I'm like, no, I got it.
Yeah,
She's like, your boy, I got it.
Your boy balling out, yo, bro. Don't sleep on your boy, bro.
So, I ordered the pizza, we sit, and then now I'm playing, man. Now I'm just in my mind, like, okay, I'm here as your friend, let's talk.
Yeah.
And she's like, why aren't you sitting next to me? I'm like, whoa, pump your brakes, man, dude. I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? She's like, no, come sit here, whatever. And I'm like, nah, this is not that kind of party, man.
Did you face that?
Nah, I'm like,
nah, but like, was that your
yeah, that was like
your
what
attitude?
I said. I was just like, look, let's not. I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Right? And then the night goes on.
Definitely self-restraint, bro. I applaud you.
And like in every fiber in my body was like, nah, just go to her, This is your chance. This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
And then she's like, can I speak to you, please?
Mm-hmm.
So we go outside, and she's like, look, I apologize. And it was like a moose of weight just fell like off me. I was like, okay. She's like, I apologize for every bad thing I said to you, for every comment that made you feel less than. I'm sorry, and I want to try again. And like, it's like, I was like, and I was like, okay. But it's almost like, when you wait for something and you get it and it's not as good as you think it was. It's like that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, I've been waiting for this.
But now it's not what I really want.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was going to be excited, what I mean? And I'm just like, you know what? I can't give you an answer. And she's like, there's tears, bruh. Classy. And she's like, no, but I'm sorry. I'll do better. And so I told her, like,
almost like it's classy now.
Luckily, you don't have the camera out, so like, yeah, and I'm like talking and I'm thinking, sorry, to myself, like, why? This is what I wanted. Why am I not jumping at this opportunity? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can start off as friends. And
take it slow.
She's like, no, but I miss you, having you in my life. I miss cooking with you, like, because we used to cook together and stuff.
Did you bring out the stuff that were like close to you guys? Yes.
A cat.
Yeah, it's a moose, a cat. Normally it's what we use, isn't it?
So I was like, you know what? Yeah, and I'm thinking, and she caught me like, slipping up, and I was like, what a knoop, man. So I'm like thinking like all the stuff we used to do together, and she's like, yeah, and I'm gonna be better, and I'm like, nah, but I can't just like, I'm not about that life, man. Like reporting where I am, who I'm with. And I'm like, it's not lekker to live like that. You need to trust me and trust that I will. She's like, yeah, I will change and I'll do better. And I'm like, maybe we can start off as friends and see where it goes from there. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that at all.
So yeah, and
especially when they put themselves out like that.
That was the last time I saw her.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. I think the fact that I was, guys, there's someone that just decided to drill a hole or grind something.
I don't know what is clapping there.
So if you hear that, I apologize profusely.
Shut the fuck.
So, but I think also what contributed to like me being a bit colder than I. Not okay. I'm not a cold person, but to like me being.
Aren't you a cold person?
No. Me being
nah, he's not a cold person. Nah, I can attest to that.
Me being less susceptible to that type of apology was the fact that I was already seeing someone else. But it wasn't like a relationship. I was just like,
Into someone else.
not into someone even, bro. Just I was trying to get over that hurt.
Okay.
But it wasn't like I was just using that person.
Yeah.
You were nothing. So I
Okay,
think
yeah,
that was
yeah.
But like I never said anything about that. I just like, you know what? It's none of your business.
Yeah, but the thing is this, that also makes it different as well
Yeah.
when you're in such a situation.
Yeah, and I realized that look, I am fine without you. You know what I mean? I am able to stand on my own, and I am good enough. For you
Yeah.
guys. So yeah, and that's the last time that we saw each other.
I am good enough.
And that was that, bruh. And then a few months later, she got onto a plane and went overseas, and I wished her good luck and blessings and whatever. And that was it. Like I think it was last year, I messaged her on her birthday just to wish her happy birthday and whatever. So yeah, there was no like feelings of like anger or resentment. Obviously, like I'll lie if I said like there was no feelings of resentment. So
Yeah, there was maybe,
Yeah.
but maybe you got over that.
Yeah,
with
and not
time.
in like the sense of I want you to have a cock life. No.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I wish I didn't allow you to do that to me. Because I always say this: someone can't make you feel less than. You allow them to make you feel less than, and that's what I allowed.
So is that what you learned maybe out
Yeah.
of this?
Of course, but and like now,
So how do you deal with it now if that should
look, I in no way, shape, or form am I saying that. I'm just the shit now. I'm Anki Dory, and I go back to my life as usual.
Yeah.
The things that I experienced in that relationship, the things that were said to me in that relationship, I would never wish upon my worst enemy, because nobody deserves to be treated like that. And look, I'm not putting all the blame on her. There was stuff that I could also do better on, and I wasn't the perfect guy and whatever. So, yeah, but like that sort of emotional abuse, psychological abuse, it's something that I carry with me today, and it does affect me in every walk of, or in every aspect of my life.
But you're more self-aware.
Yeah,
of
I'm
that
more
stuff.
self-aware, and I understand how to get over it, or how to deal with it in that.
Because
time,
from my
situation.
point of view, I would say that there's obviously leaps and bounds
Yes, bruh.
from where you were. Like
Yes,
definitely.
like I think of it like this. Like I will never let someone do that to me again. I'll never allow them to do that to me again. But at the same time, I don't punish others for the mistakes of those who came before them.
But now what if you see that happening to someone else? Do you have
Obviously, I will say, like, look, it's not for me to tell you what to do with your life. Let's say if you were the person. But- and
Because
I-
like for me, like when I saw that, I tried to say something. Maybe I didn't come across correctly. Is there maybe a way to come across
Look-
correctly? I don't know.
look like
Just
from-
if
when
you
from-
feel
when you're on
invested
the-
in the other person.
Yeah, like when you're on the outside looking in, it's always you always need to assume or go in with the assumption that you don't know the whole story, and that's very important because it's easy to say like, look, brah, she's taking you for a purse, and you need to do better, you deserve better. I don't know the good that person does. Like for every 5 bad things, there could be 50 good things, but I'm only seeing the bad. So to me, 100% of the relationship is bad, and that's the mistake that people make. But you always need to make sure that the person going through that they know their worth, man. I think that's the most important thing, because I can say now, like,
And
those-
also, I'm sorry
Yeah?
to interject there, but I think also, if I can speak up from my point of view, like there was a time where I also, and I wasn't the only one, but like I'm speaking from my side now, where I used to tell him like, brah, what the fuck, brah, how can you let the govern your life like this, you know? Look
Yeah,
how
I
you
remember
look.
that, but I
Look how you look.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? Like, this is not like you. Like, how can you let
Oh, yeah.
someone have such a bearing over how you act, man? And then, obviously, it didn't get through because I'm not in that situation, you know. Like, that's an overruling power, basically, in that type of situation. And I gave up. But when the penny dropped,
Oh, yeah.
I was still there, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And other people as well. But I guess what I'm trying to say is still be there.
Like you had a front seat, a
Don't-
front row seat to what was
Yeah,
happening
like
and what was
don't
happening.
completely just write the person
Oh,
off.
yeah. I think that's what I was so
Yeah.
grateful for, because I think like I wrote off a lot of my friends, like I isolated myself, and I think there was only 3 friends that I can think of, like now, you being one of them. That I actually sent a message to one of them and apologized for the way that I acted during that period, and she was nice enough to, because this was a friend like from school.
Yeah.
From primary
I
school.
think I know who it is.
Oh, well,
Do I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it rhymes with pole. Okay, yeah.
One
So,
of the guests we had on. What?
anyway.
Anyway.
So like, I think that during that time it was difficult for me, but you need to obviously show that person their worth, man, and make sure that they know what they're worth, so that they're not like allowing themselves to be eaten alive by that
Yeah.
particular situation. So yeah, that's my side of it. It's a bit deep. It's a bit like more emotional. But yeah, like what I can say in terms of like going forward in life, you always carry that sort of things hurt with you, and I think it sort of shapes your character and the way you interact with people. You're more understanding, firstly, but
Yeah.
also you're not God's up completely, but you're self-aware, and you sort of, you're not something to mess or something to play
Yeah,
with, man.
and
You know what
I
mean?
think at that ages as well, and like people always say, like you mold a tree when it's, I don't know. I'm almost gonna say, you give you give a man a fish, but like when kids are younger, their minds are easily shaped.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And the experience they go through also easily shape them
Yeah.
going forward, and it takes a monumental effort
Yeah.
for them to get over the way they've been shaped, and not just a monumental effort from their side, but also the people that care about them, the people who are around them, the people who have influence on them.
Okay.
You understand? And I guess being cognizant of that fact, and of how significant I guess it is in the life. You might think it's insignificant, like Carl mentioned earlier, as a parent, like, yeah, you're just a kid, blah blah blah, but the thing is, getting through that and progressing from that is extremely important as to how you conduct yourself in the future.
And also how you treat other people.
Yeah.
And so I think like what I can say is like lessons learned: self-respect, self-care, and self-belief, basically. Self-belief, yeah. Believe in yourself. Like it doesn't matter. You're gonna come across people, whether it's in a relationship or in, let's say, your professional life.
Yeah.
You're gonna come across people that will do everything they can to break you down, but what you do with that sort of, what you do in that situation, and how you deal with the information and feedback that's given to you, whether it's professional or personal, that will shape your character, and that will shape you going through life, basically. So, just to bring it full circle, as future parents ourselves, God willing, I think that this relationships, this sort of struggles that we went through,
Yeah.
I think it gives us the ammo, that we need, or ammunition. You need to, go into the parenting lifestyle or world, and also it helps us adapt more easily, basically, to these sort of situations. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest lessons I get from it.
And for those who are in relationships currently and who are not yet but will be in the future, God willing, like, take that as well with yourself. Remember how it was for you and for the other person. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, that's going to increase the longevity maybe that you can have. I always say a broadened perspective really helps with the worldview and with how to engage with other people, and that is obviously imperative when you're talking about the relationship. You're engaging with someone else. You don't know where they came from. Yes, you might learn, but now you must try and empathize with that.
And that's the thing, like, respect everyone. I don't care if it's the car god, if it's the begie, or if it's your boss at work. Respect everyone, because you don't know what the next person is going through. So treat everybody with respect. Guys, don't be scared to admit to yourself when you are in a situation that you know you need to get out of, a situation that's very bad for you. I mean, like what I did, I just basically like looked at myself in the mirror and told myself, like, look, dude, you deserve better, and you need to respect yourself so that others can respect you as well. So yeah, with that being said, like, I think that, like I mentioned before, it gives you like a sort of a broadened perspective going into this, and maybe helping someone that's in the same situation that you found yourself in maybe years back, and things like that. So yeah, I think one of my biggest teachings of this thing that I went through is that I will try my best to be there for my kids one day, God willing, like I said. And like, I don't know if you experienced it too. Like, you always tell your parents, like, you don't understand. You don't understand what I'm going through. But to a certain extent, parents do, but then to a certain extent, they also don't. Because they obviously, as like parents, they say, like, I've been there I've gone through that,
Yeah.
been there, got the tattoo, stamp, whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
got the
the thing is.
souvenir, yeah, got
I
the
mean-
t-shirt.
So yeah, like
What I can say on that is as well is just like, everything that Carl said, and then also, I think, don't also beat yourself up about your past. That is something that people do till till this day, people in their 40s, 50s still beating themselves up about their past. Like, try and I guess emerge from that positively. And that's what I found in mine, which was obviously like not it, if you guys were listening to the story. But now that I know the impact of that and how bad that was, I know not to be like that in the future, you understand? And that's also about self-awareness. So yeah, it's been great, guys.
We've actually put a lot out there in this episode.
Like this was like you on candid camera, fam.
You're on Dr. Phil.
Peru.
So,
but we're not cloud chasers though.
Yeah.
So
if you guys like enjoyed it, if you found it informative, and even if you find yourself going through like any of the situations that we mentioned, or even something completely different, just remember that it ends like if you're in a cack situation. Let me just be blunt. If you're in a cack situation and it's not, let's say, what is ideal for your life at this point in time, remember that there is always a plan, whether you believe in God or not.
Yeah.
I do believe in God. I'm not agnostic.
Contrary to popular belief.
God always has a plan. There is a plan, and like I said, it doesn't matter which God you believe in. There is always a plan. There's a reason for every season.
Or which scientist you believe in.
There is a reason you're going through what you're going through, and you will come out better. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make that decision to get out of that situation. And if you don't want to get out, make the situation better, make it work for you.
For sure. So man, please do engage with us. Tell us your stories. Tell us what you've learned. Tell us what, I guess maybe if you have learned something and you have like tips for someone else going through something maybe similar, or you wouldn't know, so just put it out there and maybe someone else can learn from that, So please do engage with us. You can catch us on Instagram at the Realcast SA. Once again, you can catch myself at geo_the_don on IG, and yourself, Kyle.
You can find me on IG at basic_Kyle. Please please do be sure, like, even to comment under the post if that's the easiest way of accessing our content. You can comment under the post like what you would like us to speak about, what your opinions are and stuff, or ideas even for future content. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we're now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, it's just the Realcast. The Realcast is one word. You can search for that and it should pop up there. On Apple Podcasts, the same. Don't forget to leave us a review, and you can comment there as well. It really helps the show. If you don't use any of those if
you don't lose any of those platforms.
Yes, there we go. If you don't use any of those platforms, you can find us at www.realcastsa.podbean.com as well.
That is correct.
And you can engage with us there as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to us. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time,
keep it real.